Guys, all right, welcome back. So let's continue with the today's topic. so, According to me, today's topic again is very much, uh, uh, very much interesting, very much important also, and lots of use cases, guys, you can solve with today's topic, and you definitely enjoy this topic. And interesting thing is, by chance, anybody who is there with me in my open shift training, okay, in DU 180, or we have done some of other open shift training, maybe, guys, in the open shift, we have a concept called build configuration called BC. Okay, and that is purely automated. This great thing about this particular product of open shift. But same kind of functionality if you want to create by yourself. Can you want to configure your environment? They will do same kind of uh, setup. That's what we are going to discuss. But don't worry, guys. The today's class, we there's no prerequisite as OpenShift, no prerequisite, only basics knowledge of Docker you require. But I'm just referring to those guys who by chance know OpenShift. Something like this we are going to create by ourselves. Okay. So what is the agenda for today? Very interesting, and you'll see this class I will take it forward in my upcoming classes also. And in this process of my today's class, I will set up base, and on the top of this base we will, in the future, we will integrate multiple different products also. But today also I'm going to cover lots of things and lots of stuff. Okay, so main plan for today is, with the help of Jenkins, okay, how you can uh, dynamically create, okay, dynamic create as per the requirement of Docker images. Okay, that's what, guys, we are going to do. A lot of Docker images is available on the market in Docker Hub, and a lot of repository we have in the real world. But okay, mm, I normally, in our use cases, we have our own app, we have our own customized environment, and I want to create my own customized image. And image is always dynamic. Dynamic image, I don't want to create my image fix and always give the same image to my team. Okay. As per the requirement, my image will dynamically created and dynamically provided to my team. So what I'm talking about, I believe you guys might not ever understand, especially if you are guys are new in Docker world. So let me again refactor. It means put this point in multiple small chunk, and in 10 minutes you will understand, guys, what exactly I'm talking about. So first, let me explain you in detail our current use case. Okay, and then we will see how we gonna do this. Okay. Okay, so something like this. So again, let me start from here. We have a developer who is creating a app in some language. Let's say right now they are creating an app in a language called Java. Okay, so what is the final need? What is the final step, right? Initial step is my developer will create an app. This is normally always the first step, and always normally the last step is, we have our server. Okay, and I would like to run my app or deploy my app over here, and this server is normally my production system. Or maybe testing server or other servers, but let's say this is normally a final step. So my clients from my real world, they can connect and see what they see. They can use our app. It's depend, guys, which kind of app you create. Maybe this might be web app, so they can see the web app or the website. Okay, so this is the first and last, right? So maybe you can say this first and last means end to end, and between this there's lots of things happening based upon team to team and use case to use case. So there's a lot of uh, uh, small stop stages or steps we have to do for to reach to the production. Okay, and by an upcoming class, before Jenkins complete almost all the steps, we will cover in this. Even though this is a Jenkins class, but I'm trying to cover as much as a different tool to be integrated with Jenkins. For example, some of the part of Maven, for example, we have covered something like this. Okay, but let me focus on today's class, what exactly we want to do here. Okay, so if you guys focus on our end system here in my production server here, and if you try to analyze what this server has, obviously this server has some kind of physical hardware. Okay, and on the top of the physical hardware, we have our operating system, and on the top of operating system we have some server or services, right? Maybe let's say it's Java, the server may be JBoss or Tomcat. If it's PHP, this may be Apache web server. So some server or app server we have here. And on the top of the server we have copy our app, or we execute it or launch or deploy our app. Okay, so this is the stack we have, or this is the system that is running in our functions, and this is normally known as our server is going, or web server is running here, or app is running here. Okay, now guys, this is nowadays is very common trend. Very common trend. This entire part from here till here in this of these three layers, or initial three stacks, this three layer. Okay, normally this entire OS, or this setup is normally known as environment. And this environment nowadays is very common. We always run inside an engine or a technology called container. So container is the one normally nowadays we use a lot to launch this particular environment. Okay, and from where you launch a container. So guys, what is container? It's just a technology name, and a lot of product in the market for the container. One of the product you guys might know is Docker. So with the help of Docker, we launch a container, and you can think guys, container is like OS, those who don't know about this. Okay, but from where you launch a container? So you launch a container obviously always from the image that is called container image, or maybe you can say this is the Docker image. So from the Docker image you have to launch it. Okay, but now here the big point here, over here is, right, who provide the Docker image? So maybe we have a team. Maybe we have a team. What team will do? Okay, what team will do? For example, let's say my developer is the one who upload this code, and they use the good practice here. They put in SCM system like GitHub. And what is the use of this this team? This team will will go to SCM system, download the code. Okay, download the code or my app code. Okay, and from this app or from this code, they can create this particular image. Okay, and how this image create? But by chance, because they are creating the image by their own customized code that is developed by their team, so that image is normally known as a custom image. So they create our own custom image, and but always guys, we can't get this image publicly because this contain my own personal code of my company. So obviously this kind of image is not available. So we have to create our own custom image. And guys, anybody who know Docker, there's two way to create a custom image. Anybody who know Docker, is a commit file, also a commit command, or with the help of Docker file. Okay, so we can use commit or Docker file. But Docker file is the best way, because in Docker file, Docker give you some commands, keywords, and we create a file. I can say the Docker program file we create. And because this is a program file we create, we can execute this file, and after executing the file, it will create a custom image for us. And guys, obviously in the whenever you talk about automation, that's what we wanted here. In the automation, we always go for something that will help me to create a code. Commit command, if you guys know, help me to create an image, but it won't help me to create a code. A code is a way we can run, and when we run something, it become automatic. So that is the reason normally if you know Docker file is the best way through which we create our custom images. Okay, so guys, this is the normal high level flow that we have to deal today. But in this flow, we have some challenges. The challenges here is, okay, it's very common. My developer create an app. Let's say this is the version 1 they create, they upload. My team is keep on checking. When new version come up, they download this code and create a custom image. Okay, and after they create the custom image, they provide this image to other team, to IT teams or other infrastructure team, and they ask, this image has been created. Okay, it's been created now. Use this image to launch a container, and this environment will launch. And how they share these images, the very common way to share the container images, we have some kind of centralized uh, space or storage or repository. It is normally known as a registry. Okay, or I can say Docker or container registry. So normally when this team create this this image, custom image, they upload this image here, or I can say this, they push this image here, and this other team will go and download this image from here. That's called pull. So those who know Docker push command, Docker pull command, so my this team will use Docker push command, and this team will use Docker pull command. After the pull, image come up, and from this image they launch a container. But what they find in the container, they find the container app version 1, or there's app version deploy here, and my client will see the latest version. Till here this might be okay. But challenge here is, I told you guys in my first class also of Jenkins, the challenge here is very common. My developer, they have a team, they keep on working in new add and functionality, they keep on adding, or let's say they come up with the version 2. And now it depends, guys, how quickly they are coming with the new functionality, enhancing the older one, patching the bugs in the older code. They come with the new version v2. Again they are upload in the SCM. So their role is been completed. But this team, guys, has to keep on watching, keep on checking when the new version come up. New version come up. Again they download the latest code of version 2. Again they create the image. That's called the custom image. Okay, the same Docker file way. But how they create? Again the file, they might something change here. Again they run the file, and guys, when you run the Docker file, it's called run the file, and typically it's called build the file. And when they build the file, custom is create, again they push, again they pull, and again they relaunch the new environment. Okay, and guys, if you talk about this particular part, if you talk about this particular part, okay, it look like it look like that some team we require here, some team we require here who will pull and launch the app. And if they launch the app, your older version remove, new version come up. So there's a lot of issues we're gonna come up. What is those issues? Again, we might discuss in the upcoming class. But there's a lot of tool available in the market who manage any kind of issues or any kind of version upgrade kind of thing, right? For example, one of the great tools is Kubernetes. So Kubernetes has a way. Anybody who know Kubernetes and in is part of my Kubernetes, so they know in the Kubernetes, if new version come up, there is a keyword called deployment, and deployment we have strategy. That's called upgrade, rolling upgrade. So any new version come up, they tackle those parts. So we don't have to think much. Kubernetes kind of tool will do for you. So guys, again, this training is not about Kubernetes, and there's no prerequisite as a Kubernetes for this today's class at least, but I'm just referring you this part. This part here, from pulling to launching the new version, can be very much automated with the help of Kubernetes, or maybe with the help of OpenShift, a kind of tool. Okay, but here our main focus area today will be till here. Whatever you have in this side, that's what we have today. And here, guys, you will see one place where you see a lot of manual thing. Okay, guys, by the meantime I am explaining, let me launch one more system, because I need again two system to show you this demo. And only the manual thing, guys, I think you might understood, right, is that this team. And one manual thing is team is keep on checking here, right, and new version come up, then they do the things. And guys, again, this is a human being, everything becomes slow. I don't want this. I want anything and everything to be automated. So instead of team, I will remove this team, and the entire job and the responsibility of team I will give to my automation tool, and here obviously Jenkins. So I'll tell my Jenkins whatever this team is doing, do for us. And you guys know in the Jenkins how we do. we write the step 1, step 2, step 3, and this step is called job. Okay, and one of the use of one of the duty of this job is duty of this job is they will go here, download the code. And when they go, when the code come, and how they know the code come up, I told you guys this concept already. So in SCM like GitHub, we can set the triggers. So this concept we already discussed. So as soon as developer push the code here, they trigger, they contact to Jenkins and ask Jenkins to automatically run the job. But what the job will do depend what step we write. And what step we write, it depends guys what this team normally used to do. Okay, so let me guys create a steps what team normally used to do. Okay, the first step the team do is to download from the Git. This is a Git clone. The first step they have to do. Second step is because the code is written in Java, and normally guys Java code we have to compile, and normally guys after compile, before we deploy in our server or app server, we have to create a package in some jar or WAR file. So this team has to what are the code they download as Java code, they have to compile, and finally they have to create a package. And how they do the good practice in the Java, and normally the way we do is called, we can use a tool called Maven. So this two system has this team has the on one computer, one server where they already have a Maven installed, and they ask the Maven, and Maven will do everything for us. Okay, and what the next they do? Okay, now finally we got a final my software called jar file, or it's also called artifact. So finally we got the artifact. And now this team last duty and responsibility is to create a custom image. Okay, so what they want finally this jar file going to deploy over here. So if I draw here in the green, my jar file would be deployed here. But for the jar file or Java, we need app server, and for the app server, we need OS. And everything is called environment, and this environment come in from the container, and container launch from the image. So this means this team has to create an image, and what image contain? Image contain your base OS plus your app server, or maybe I can say your Java environment plus your latest app, and how app come from in jar file or in artifact. So all these three things guys, they have to put inside what image in this custom image, and how they put obviously with automation, and automation here will be Docker file. So this team will have the third responsibility here is to create a Docker file. In the Docker file, they write a code, and the code they have the OS plus they have the Java environment or the app server plus they have your this particular whatever jar file you created right now or app you created right now, you need latest one. And maybe this is the first time you're doing, so this is your version 1. So in this Docker file, you need version 1 of this code. Okay, and after this part done, and fourth step would be we have to share this image. So this image is what custom image. So we have to share a custom image to a team, and the one of the good way to share the custom image is put the custom image in the registry. Typically in the company world, we always has a private registry, is not publicly available. So because security, but for today's demonstration, I'm going to use Docker Hub, right, as a registry that is public by chance, but just to show you as a demo. Okay, so last thing is this team will do is whatever image they create, they push. They push. So they will push in the registry. Registry means a repository of what? Of your images. Now this the duty of this team done. Now the duty of next team come in play, and here whatever depend guys which tool they launch the environment, and they also have a trigger. For example, Kubernetes also trigger some new image come up, they come, they download, and they relaunch. So there's a different perspective here. Now we don't have to deal this part today, but till my registry launch, the duty of this team and responsibility completed. Okay, so these are steps we have to do, and this step not only once you have to do. If you want to do once, then manual would be always the best way. But this step you want to do again and again a day, 10 times or one the hundreds of times. Why? My version of my app is keep on changing. So every time they push, and as they push, I have to again download, again create jar file, again create new image because this contain older image. So I have to create the new image with version 2, again upload the new image in my Docker registry and other team gonna use. So this process we have to do again and again. And guys, again and again is known as continuous. And guys, if you want continuous, you need a tool that will automate the thing. And here the tool is Jenkins. So guys, that's what guys we are going to do. And because here guys, we are going to use Jenkins. So Jenkins should know, first of all, okay, how to push the image to the registry. And guys, for this, Jenkins don't know how to push the image. And guys, for this, obviously, we have to use some plugins. Jenkins should also know how to run the code of Docker file. Obviously, they won't create Docker file code for us, okay? But they should know how to run this code. That's called build this code, okay, and create the image for us. So again, for this, we have to provide a plugins to the Jenkins. Jenkins should also know how to create Maven. So again, we have to provide Maven plugin that we already installed in our last class. Plus, Jenkins don't know how to go to Git. We have plugin that we already installed in our last class. So for today's this demo, these two plugins we already had. These two plugins we have to install. So technically, what I'm trying to guys explain you, rather than guys focus more on this use case today, it's very interesting, no doubt. But but try to understand the approach, right? I'm just trying to explain the approach. Working in the Jenkins, solving any kind of complex use case is not big deal. Just write down your steps in this kind of document or some kind of other pen and paper, whatever way you managing. Okay, write down the steps and slowly, one by one step, just converting the steps in the steps and put all the steps in the job. And that's why your job will be completed. Okay, so let's do this demo. And one more step you can do before this. Okay, before this, let's say 0 step, we can set a trigger. So we'll tell the Jenkins if anything change in my repository, then only we launch the talk, because trigger also is the one you set in the job. Right now, today I'm not showing the trigger because you know already we have done a lot of discussion in and practicals on the triggers. So here today I'm running my job manually by clicking. So let me show you this demo very quicker. I feel you guys not so much comfortable with Docker, even though I've shared my video that I covered this topic. Okay, but to make you comfortable, guys, I just want to invest 5 minutes on these two parts. Okay, I show you manually first how to get Docker file, how to compile, how to create build image, then how to push. After you become comfortable with this concept in 5 minutes, then I show you how you can do the same thing automatically, continuously with the help of with the help of Docker. So with the help of Jenkins. Okay, so that is the reason, guys, I launched two machines here. Okay, and this machine, I believe, format. Okay, so this is a machine, guys, where we have Jenkins running. Okay, so let me show you guys how to do this. And I have one more machine, this one, where I've used this machine just for testing. What I mean by this, I will explain you in a minute. Okay, and let me do one more thing very quickly. My Jenkins running, I believe my IP is not changed. So this is the machine, guys, where my Jenkins running. Let me log in. Okay, so okay, and do one more small thing. So guys, what I'm doing right now, I'm just trying to make you comfortable with this concept. Or maybe, guys, let me start from this machine. So let's say this is the machine. Initially, you used to do manual. Let's say I am this particular team, this team, and I have this particular OS, and here I do this thing manual. Which thing? These all steps I am doing manual. So let me, guys, so if I show you the manual thing, then I'll show you how to automate. Because if you know manual, converting to automate won't be the big deal. Okay, so right now the IP of this system is 105. Let me use guys putty so I can quickly copy paste the thing. So I'm connecting the IP 105. Okay. So first, let me create a separate folder. It's called workspace. Let's say this is Docker Jenkins. Okay. And here, nothing's there. So first step would be we have to download from GitHub. And right now, guys, I'm using the same code what I used in our last class. Okay. So this is there in my GitHub. Okay. And I'm using the same Maven. Okay. This code I'm using here. So first step is I'm using git clone. Again, guys, this is manual part, and I'm downloading this one. So this part I have done. First step is done. Second step is, guys, you have to, this is a code, you have to compile and create a package. So I'm going inside this folder. Okay, this is also, guys, one step. You go inside the folder because you have to tell the Jenkins, you have to go inside the folder. Okay, this is also one of the small steps you have to keep in mind. Okay, then here I tell Maven, because in this system I believe Maven I have already. I use package command and Maven will do everything for us. The last step they have done already, and now they do very fastly. And in the target folder, okay, in the target folder we have this particular jar file come up. So again, you have to tell your Jenkins also, you have to go inside target folder where you find the jar file with this name, or maybe with any name dot start, something like this. Okay, so this step is done. Okay, now we have to create a custom image. Okay, and for the custom image, what you need OS, and in the OS you need some app server or maybe Java environment. So again, you can, guys, create some base OS like Ubuntu or CentOS, and there you can install Java. So this step you can do very quickly, but otherwise having Java environment is very common. So this kind of image you can find a lot in the public. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm going to Docker Hub. Okay, and if you ask in the Docker Hub, do you have any image? Okay, image that has a Java pre-setup. Okay, so if I search here, so we have any image that has JDK. So you find Oracle JDK, a lot of images already available, or otherwise you can also create. I just need to install JDK only, or if you want, you can use open version of JDK also. Open source means open JDK. Okay, so this open JDK is also available. What this has one OS plus Java or JDK already installed. Okay, so this part is already there. Obviously, guys, none of the body in the world who will have our app server, because this is our code. Obviously, they don't have. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this OS or this image, and on the top of this image, I'm going to put my code. So this image plus my code, I want to create a new image from this. Okay, something like this. So let me explain you very quick. Even though guys know Docker file, they know, understand, but I have one image already available that contains some base OS, whatever they have. Okay, plus they already have Java environment called JDK. It's already there, so I don't want to waste my time. Okay, so what I do from this image, I get this, and I will add my personal app version 1, whatever I have, and this will create our own new setup, and I will copy this setup in a new image, and this image will be our custom image. And how I do, we can use a Docker file concept. Okay, so let me show you guys how we can do it. So simple. Okay, so over here in the same folder where I have the jar file, in the same folder, or it's good practice normally wherever you have your entire app or root of your app, where you have everything, POM file, target file. Okay, guys, this is not related to Maven. You can put anywhere, but it's good practice normally. So whatever you have in your root of your app means where you have everything. So here only, guys, you go and create a Docker file. Okay, so Docker file, guys, is a way, guys, by chance, those who don't know, by chance Docker file is D is capital and there's no space. This is the convention we have to use. And this is very simple. We have to use some keyword of the Docker. And one of the keyword of Docker is, I'll tell my Docker there's one image already available. I want to use this image as my base image. So there is a guys keyword called from keyword. Okay, from keyword we have to use, and here you say I have one base image is there, it's called OpenJDK. OpenJDK I would like to use. Okay, and now which version you want to use, that will be your choice. Let me click here, whatever version they have, let me check. Okay, so if you click on able tag or maybe click on tags, so they have a lot of different versions available. All right, different version or name and tags available. So if you go down, or maybe one minute, in description maybe sometime they put here, but guys if you see somewhere they write a lot of version. For example, like this is the way we use the version, and guys again this is one of the example of uh, Docker file. That's what we are going to create today. Okay, so somewhere you can see, but I believe these guys also have version 8. You can check with Docker pull command if you know, but let me use version 8 because Maven has built the code for version 8, so I would like to use JDK version 8. This part is done. Okay, so this image I used, and on the top with this guys I want to add my new app or my new jar file. So if you want to add, that is also known as copy. So there's two keyword here. Either you can use add keyword or copy keyword. There's two keyword in the Docker file. Both working is almost same, but add will do some extra thing for you. Any file you want to copy, that is tar file, they will automatically untar for you. That's the only thing they do for you. And guys, by chance, those who are in the OpenShift and DO180 training, when they go for DO1 to examination, so it's one of the tasks they ask you in the examination that you have some tar file, you have to copy in the Docker image, but after copy, automatically it become extract. So there you have to use add command by chance. But right now here, we're going to Jenkins class. So we'll talk about my OpenShift class further things, but copy is a command we are going to use. And what to tell to the copy? Well, I have this jar file already right now in my current storage, in my current folder, my file system, copy for it. And obviously guys, if you're copying something, you know, tell where they are. Okay, so I just go out and I say my jar is in the target folder. Okay, and inside the target folder, my jar name is this one. Normally guys, your artifact name is always fixed because we put the name in the POM file. But right now, rather than you give the big name, better I can use star jar. Okay, so I'll tell my Docker file. Okay, just go to target folder or whatever name you have, but if the extension is .jar, copy this file where in this image. Now where you want to copy, that will be your choice. Normally we in the image we always create copy in the root location, and if you give the file name, let's say my app .jar, so automatically guys this file will copy inside the image with this name where in their root location. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. So this file will copy over here. Okay, so this part is always also done. Okay, and one more thing guys, normally we have to do this become your image. And now guys, when I run this code, technically my image will create, there's my custom image that contain my custom app. So from base system, okay, after Maven run, Maven create this, and after Maven create this, I will copy here. So finally my image will create. But normally guys, we use this image to launch a container. And guys, when you launch the container, this contain my OS, this contain my Java, this contain my app code. But I want one more thing. After my container launch, automatic my app also run. Right? Copying the code is not enough. After copy, I want my in my OS on container app also run. So either you create a container then launch the app manually. Again, I don't want to go for manual thing, or you want as the container launch automatically your app launch. So for this guys, again in the Docker file we have a keyword. There's a keyword called CMD, or instead of CMD, better way would be entry point is one keyword here. This entry point means from this image as soon as they launch the container from this image, as soon as they launch the container or start the container, okay, so which app to run, which program to run, which command to run whenever this container come up. Okay, that is called, guys, entry point. So when I want to enter inside this this app, which command to run. And I know, guys, right now this is just a jar file, it's not a war. I will take some example of war also, where war means it is your pure web application. And web application, guys, normally we put in some kind of web server or app server like Tomcat something. We'll see this kind of example also, but right now this is just war having a hello world example. And I saw you guys in my last class, java-jar is a command we use normally. Okay, and we'll say in your current location you will have this file. Okay, so you will find this file, which file come from here. So after this image create, so in your current location you have this file, run this command to run. Okay, so this way, guys, we can put with the entry point. So interesting thing is, as soon as this image launch, it launch a container, and as soon as the container launch, this command automatically run for you. And right now this command will run this jar. They will only give you hello world, but if this is a website, they will launch the entire website for you. I'll take this example. And by chance, guys, in entry point, this is a command, this option, this is your argument. So guys, in the entry point, normally we have to put everything inside a list. And the list, guys, you have to convert, you have to put everything in like a normal element. So this first element, this is my second element. So this syntax of by chance this command, entry point, and this is my third element. So normally in the entry point, you have to differentiate. The first one is always command, second one is your always option, third one is your file name or your argument. Okay, so that's what, guys, your Docker file created. Again, I'm doing everything manual, but we'll use Docker to automate everything. Okay, let me save this. And this is the code develop. And after you code develop, you have to create the image. And for this, you have to run this code. How to run this code? So before I run this code, guys, let me show you a Docker images command. It show you all the images that I have right now in my current local system. Okay, so these are some images I have in my local system. Okay, so now if I run my Docker build command, okay, I'm asking this build to create a new image because this is a new image we're creating. And let's say this new image is called Java app, and you can give an image also in the version called version 1. Okay, any version you can give. So it is good practice, guys. If you're giving app version 1, also give the image version 1. If you create app version 2, give the image version 2, or this image version is also known as tag. So to have a proper symmetry. And use dot. Dot means current folder. So in the current folder, Docker, you will go and find Docker file because there's a fixed name. So Docker automatically will find this file in the current folder. And after they find, they will compile this file, means they build this file. In this file, if there's no error, they create the image for you. And where the image is stored. Okay, so very quickly, there's no error. And now if I run my Docker images, you can see I have my own personal image come up. Okay, so this step is done. Okay, so again, if I go back here, creating our image is done. Now, if I want my other team gonna use these images, I will push this image to some centralized repository. By chance, guys, I have a Docker Hub account. I highly suggest, if you don't have, also go and create. So I have the Docker Hub account. I already log in, and these are the images I have in my account. Okay, so let me upload over here. How to upload is so simple. So if you want to upload, first of all, you have to change your image name. Okay, this is the syntax Docker say. Okay, so image name should always start with your account name, and by chance my account name is Vimal 13. So to change this image, so I can say Docker, there's a command called tag, this image J app with version 1 I have. Okay, so I want to give the same name version 1, but I would love to add one extra name here, Vimal 13. Technically, I'm changing the name. So this way in the Docker by chance, you can use change. Why I'm changing? Because this name represents your account name, and when you upload, by default they always upload to Docker Hub, and they will go inside your account. And why are they put in your account? Because you log in. Okay, so for this I have to first log in here. I'm giving my account name of my Docker Hub, and if I know my password right now, okay, I don't know, is it right? It should be. Yeah, so I've logged in. And now how can I push? This is the command you can use to push. So guys, you see, because I know everything practically, you guys also know practically here. Now we can convert this practical command with with uh, with a what is it? 1 minute. So Docker push. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Docker push, obviously. So I will convert, guys, this command with a Jenkins job. So let's say this image push. So this team duty is done. This team duty, even though they don't done manually. Now this team will go download this image, and either they use locally or ask Kubernetes, OpenShift, or any other tool, Rancher, whatever they want to use, they can use. Okay, so uploading. Just to show you this demo very quickly, I'm switching back to my different system. Okay, this is the different system. Okay, and what I'm doing here, let's say there's a team of my person guys, and what they do Docker pull, and they say this is the account we have, and in this account somebody other team has uploaded image with japp v1 japp v1. Okay, so we have, they are downloading in their system. After download, obviously they launch. So right now I'm guys showing launching here manually, but here normally we have to launch or deploy with Kubernetes and some other cloud services. So there's a command called docker run to run this image. Okay, and guys, if you know Docker, you guys might know this option IT we normally use if you want to go inside the image or inside the container. Right now I don't want, because I know whenever I run my image, it launch a container, and when the container launch, automatically they run a command. Which command? This command, because we have entry point, and because they launch automatically, so automatically app run, and whatever we have in the app automatically run for you. So right now guys, what we are expecting here, my app will run give the hello world output. That's, yeah, so they give it. Guys, technically those who by chance don't know Docker, it look like just hello world is coming. It's not like hello world is coming, right? Technically behind this, in the entirely launch the entire OS, new OS. Okay, after they launch the new OS, they run a program, and program give you output hello world, and then my OS stop. So just by one click, this entire process is happening. So super fast, right? And that's what we need. Otherwise, before the Docker container, we have to launch the entire VM, deploy the app, run the app, get this output, and time it OS. Take a lot of time. But here, just by one single command, right, everything is automated. Means so not automated, it's very quick and super fast. Okay, so thing means whatever we are doing till date manually, everything is working great. Now it's time to change and convert everything from the manual to the automation. So here, guys, I would like to replace this team with the Jenkins. So we have the Jenkins. Let's do now very quickly how to do this. So obviously, first of all, you have to go to Manage Jenkins, go to Plugins. Two plugins we need technically. One plugin for this one, one plugin for this one. Okay, so just go to available plugins and search for Docker. Two plugin will come up. Again, guys, in my case, I already installed. Just give you the name. Otherwise, it takes a lot of time to install sometime. So if you search for Docker in your system in available, okay, you will find these two plugin. One plugin is this one. Okay, this plugin say it will help you to build your project, your image from the Docker file. Okay, this plugin is called Cloud-based Docker build and publish plugin. So there's one plugin I need. Okay, And second plugin I need here is Docker build steps. Okay, why? Because in my Docker file we are going to write lots of Docker commands. Okay, so you see entry point and some command we use. So this guy will help me to understand about those commands. So this plugins we need, and this particular plugin we need. Okay, that's all. Install it, restart Jenkins, and this will come in your install. So guys, let me go to my dashboard, create a new job. This is the Java app custom Docker, let's say image or Docker. So just giving a job a name, something like this. Again, let me go to freestyle. Now let's do step by step. Okay, so first step would be, and guys, this is a new step. I'm just not stop new one option I'm showing you. There's an option called GitHub project. Nothing fancy here, but I'm just giving up my project link. Okay, what is the meaning of this link? Let me explain you. Very simple thing, but sometimes it's useful. So this is my GitHub. I'll copy this URL here and let me post here. So that's what they do. Nothing special. Okay, this is a good practice, guys. If you're building a project and wherever you get hub link, just paste here. Why useful? When you save it, okay, automatically I see in the left this link come up GitHub. That's the only thing. So anybody who come in this project, right, they can click and they can see where is your GitHub project. That's the use of this pro link. Sometimes useful, so it's good practice to always enable this option. Okay. But main thing here is obviously I go to source control management system. I tell this is the URL where you have to download my code. So this is a URL, download my code from here. Okay. And after code download, okay, let me very quickly run and test, guys. It is also good practice, guys. All the steps that you have, just run one by one. So you come to know where you are facing the issue. So this code is running. There's no error. Blue or green color come up. So guys, this is unsuccessful. And we know by chance, guys, my code always run in my workspace, means in your workspace, your code run here. Okay. Now next step would be I ask my Maven to create a package. Because I already have Maven installed in my current master system. Because I've only master no slave I have by chance. Okay. So in my master system, already have a Maven and already configured, and I have Maven plugins already. This demo I already showed to you. So I'll go to my build. Okay. And in my build, I'll say I want to use Maven. And this version we have already set in the last class, and I plan is to create a package. Okay, that's all. So second step again done by by your project. Again, they download the code, put in your workspace. Okay, and in your workspace, they will now asking the Maven to do. The error is they say I don't able to find / Maven 3. Okay, why? Let me very quickly check. So they say in this system they don't have Maven 3 folder. I have. Okay, why they saying this? They said they don't able to find any executable in this folder. Okay, 1 minute. So could not find any executable. Okay. Let me check over here. I don't know, maybe some setting might change. So here, guys, yeah, I don't know why this lines goes. So I have to tell my Maven is there, right? that that Maven is there in this particular folder is there, right? So this is the only thing normally we have to do. Let me go to my job again. Let me again build. Thumbs up come up. Yeah, it's come up, right? I don't know why. So technically it's run. So successful. You're in your target folder. This jar file created. So this demo, guys, we already seen. So in my workspace, in the target folder, this create. Okay. Now from here, we have to do a new steps. Okay. New step would be do this. And for this, guys, we have to provide Docker file. Okay. And now where we have to provide Docker file. So let me show you guys again the configuration part. And if you notice here in the build or in the build step, one more new option already come up here called Docker build and push. And this option, guys, come from the Docker plugin. And when you click in this option, okay, they're asking you to tell what is your name of the image. Guys, when you configure Docker image uh, manually, okay, you give your own image name. That's what, guys, they're asking here. Tell me your image name. That's all. And they say I automatically create image for you. But guys, anything that automatically create, we need a code, and here the code is Docker file. Here, guys, they're not asking where is the Docker file because okay, they consider that wherever you have a source code, same system you have a Docker file. So when they download a code from a GitHub, same location, guys, we have to create a Docker file. Okay, what I mean by this, let me show you. Guys, can you hold for a second, please? Okay, so in this particular location, okay, your team, and nowadays, guys, Docker is so common. Every developer use Docker. Okay, so developer normally nowadays should know how to create a Docker file. So with so developer, guys, uh, can while uploading the code in the same location, they also add new file. Right now I'm adding here manually directly in Docker Hub, but in the code they directly put the the Docker file. And what they put in the Docker file, exactly whatever I have created here. So this entire code they copy here. Okay, that's the only thing. And guys, wherever you're building the project, maybe locally, maybe in Jenkins, in their space, workspace, this folder, inside this we have Java. So code is always the same. So this is the only thing you have to do, or your developer has to do if they're no Docker. Okay, and this normally they do. Right? Depend, guys, again, team to team. Okay, this part is done. So technically, this entire code is uploaded by Docker, by developer with the Docker file. Okay, and the most interesting thing here, I don't know have you noticed at this point or not. Okay, now we have complete control in our developer side. Now, developer don't need anybody, any team in between to deploy their code in some server. Obviously, it's not good practice directly put in the production system, but wherever they want to deploy, everything automated. What I mean by this, okay, as soon as developer upload the code, I try to understand this point is so interesting. As soon as developer upload the code, they go to GitHub, and GitHub we have a trigger. Trigger will run this job automatically. Again, we don't need anybody in Jenkins to run on the job. And when the job run, my job will first download the code. In the code, they detected Docker file is there. From the Docker file, they create a Docker image, the way I did, new image created. After new image created, my job will automatically push this image in the Docker Hub. I show you how to do in the job. And after new image created, so we have some triggers here also. We can ask this trigger to contact to my Kubernetes. Kubernetes download this image, and by some strategy, they come up with the new version, and new version, guys, will be hit to the production. So if you see here, guys, in this entire process from end to end, sorry, there is no need of any team. Everything to be purely automated is not good practice. We require some kind of approval also. We'll talk about this point in future classes, but somehow, at least in this setup, we can see everything automated. One click, developer upload the code. My developer guys don't have to depend on our team, CI/CD guys, my IT guys, Docker guys, right? Container creator or image developers, right? Everything is purely automated. Okay, so sorry. So that's what, guys, you can see here, because technically you know how to set up the trigger. By chance, if you want to see the practical of Kubernetes also integration with Jenkins, if you want, because a lot of guys over here, they know Kubernetes, they might be part of my training. So in my guys upcoming class, I'll show you also how to integrate Jenkins with Kubernetes. Okay, I'll show you those things also. But only thing is, you should know basics about Kubernetes. So the thing that I can do extra for you, those who by chance don't know Kubernetes, I'll try to ask my team some of my initial lecture, maybe one or maybe two, where I cover Kubernetes, how to set up Kubernetes, and how to use basics of the Kubernetes. I'll try to share those video of my class, especially for those guys who are new in Kubernetes. So they go through the classes, become comfortable on the Kubernetes. It's a different thing, bonus video from my side you can think of. And then in my upcoming class, I'll show you how to integrate this part also to have the complete flow. Okay, so that's what we will see in the future classes. So let me guys show you this demo. So I'll again go to my Jenkins. And technically, if you see here, I don't have to do anything. I have to just use build and publish button. Only thing is, I have to give my image name. Let's say I'm going to give an image called Java app by Jenkins. Java app, let's say, that's all. And what version you want to give? Let's say I'm going to give version. So my image will create with this name called Java app. Okay, and with the version or tag called Viva. Okay, so this only these two things is enough. We don't require to put Docker file, because they consider in your home location of your workspace, you will have this file. Okay, and so this is one thing. And because your requirement is also publish, means upload your image, sorry, upload your image to Docker Hub. So here, guys, they give you option, right, to upload in Docker Hub. Okay, means a registry. And by default registry, guys, they use is by default, you can change. By default registry they use is Docker Hub. Only thing is you have to put your registry here. Means login and password here. So if you have the login and password of the Docker Hub, so in my Docker Hub, my username is Wimel13 and my password is something. So I'm putting my login and password here of my Docker Hub. And let me add. Okay, and let me pick this one. That's the only thing you do. So by default is Docker Hub. You can change if you want. So they log into Docker Hub. Okay, whatever image they create, after the image they create, they post it. So technically, if I go to my Docker Hub right now, if I go to my Docker Hub, okay, and over here, guys, you won't see any image with this name called Java. Okay, so let me save. Okay, and let me build. Okay, now what you see, guys, if everything okay, that's good, but I believe there might be chances to have failure. Okay, I want to show you first failure, why they have failure, but at least you see something. At least you see something behind the scene they used Docker, and this is the exact command they use what I used locally. And guys, this is the beauty of plugin, right? Plugin say you don't have to know any of the commands. I am already intelligent. Just tell me what you want. That's all. So plugins normally provide the commands to you. But understand one thing, guys, plugin never provide a command. They know how to call the command with their option. So wherever you're running the job, that system should have a command Docker. Otherwise, they know how to run the Docker command. Okay. What I mean by this, by chance my job is running in this system. This is a master node, and this system by chance I have a Docker already installed. So I have Docker already in this system. Okay, so wherever you're running job, right now my job is running in the master, that system should have Docker command installed. Okay, so in my case, I already installed. How to install? I think from our video classes, you guys might know how to install Docker. So install the Docker in the system, in master or slave, wherever you want your job to be run. Okay, so this part I have. This is, guys, there's no error come like Docker not find, but we have error of permission denied. Okay, and guys, the permission denied is, I told you in some of my class of Jenkins. Okay, whenever you run any command, you run or run by plugin, they run this command with the power of Jenkins user. So in this system, master, they have a user called Jenkins. They run this command with the power of Jenkins. And Jenkins user don't have power to run the Docker command. This command is by default run by root user only. So one process would be that I show you my some classes, give this user some extra power. How? With the help of sudo. But here, guys, we have a challenge. If you give this user a power of sudo, this user will have extra power. But only challenge, guys, in that case, you have to run this command with the sudo command. You have to add the sudo command in the front. Now the challenge here is, because this command is not created by us, this command has come from plugin, and inside the plugin, as such, we don't have options to add a sudo in the top. So if you're running this command manually with a shell plugin here or shell option, we can add sudo or we can add any command. But this command automatically created for us for the by the plugin, and obviously maybe I can go inside the code of plugin. There's a different point, but technically they might not give you option to add sudo automatically. And that is the reason, guys, and this is very common thing, that is the reason by chance this facility provides Docker. And Docker say, normally we don't run Docker kind of command with the power of root. Okay, so in your setup, if you want to run the Docker command with the Vimal user or admin or maybe XYZ user, in my case is Jenkins user. So Docker has a facility where Docker can give you a user, Jenkins user, a power to run Docker command. Okay, and for this, I have to update this user. This is called user mode command, and tell that this user, now you are the part of the Docker group. And all the Docker group you have in anywhere, I would like to add you the part of Docker. So this command, technically what they do, anybody who know Linux, okay, anybody who know Linux, now Jenkins is a one user, Jenkins is one user, and this user become the member of Docker group. This command only do this. So this is a secondary user, also secondary member. So for Jenkins, this become a secondary group. So anybody who know Linux, so this is a very some kind of thing. So that's the only thing, guys, by chance you have to do, not from the Jenkins perspective, but Jenkins is the one who gonna run Docker command. So to make Jenkins a group member of Docker. And if you want to verify this, so there's one file, guys, in the Linux that maintain this information. Okay, so you want to see, you will see Docker is a group name and Jenkins is a member, will update in this file. Okay, so guys, here Docker is a group name. This is a file for group, and in this group Jenkins become the member. Initially, guys, if you see in the system, this setup is not there. But after running this command, it come out. So technically this is a facility by Jenkins, and so it's facility by Docker. Docker say, now this user has a power to run it. I can add Vimal user, Amit user, Yash user, Eric, Tom. So all the users will have power to run a Docker command. So that's the thing, Docker by chance give you a facility. Okay, now this is the issue, guys, of permission denied. Okay, so let me rerun my job. Well, let's see if new error come up. Now they are running, they are downloading. After downloading, the thing work. And now guys, build is successful. Again, we have an error, uh, something, and I believe that this error is this time because of SE Linux. So SE Linux is one security. They won't allow the one process of different process to connect to other process. They always run in every process. They try to run in isolated world. We can set up a rule in the SNS called context. But I'm not going for the direction. Is a different topic altogether. Right now, for this demo, I am disabling the SNX. So Jenkins is a different program, Docker is a different program. They won't allow to interact each other. Okay. So by some disabling security, but otherwise in the secure world, we can create. You can ask to SNS guys. I worked a lot by chance, but we have to create all proper context and maybe sometime module and load, then start working. Okay. Right now, I'm just disabling SNS, so it won't, uh, you know, hold us. Okay, so I think this might be the only challenge, and now I believe it should run. My Jenkins runs. So uh, they say it failed. It's failed. I think it should run. There is no challenge. Okay, the fail might be 1 minute. Let me check my Docker service running or not. Docker service is running. Why they fail? 1 minute. It should run. Jenkins Docker. So it should run technically. Guys, I've seen. Yeah, actually, one more thing you have to do. I by chance always forget. I don't know why. Okay, you have to do. I think somebody else here help me in chat box also. Uh, because guys, you are giving Jenkins extra power for Docker, right? And guys, power we always give to process, and Jenkins process already going on, right? So to restart a process of Jenkins, to tell that we have given you extra power, that you have a capability to to work something with the Docker. Okay, so this step, I don't know why, sometimes I forget, I miss actually. That's the only thing you have to do extra here. Okay, and let me again go to job because I restart it, might log out automatically. Okay, let me again log in, and now you will see when I run. I think I clicked. Yeah, sound process start. Okay, this time I think there might be no more challenges. So it create Maven build. After Maven build, archive create. I know that this system version has some issue after logout or restart. Actually, they gone. Let me check afterwards. But I have to again go here. Sorry. Again, go here. Manage Jenkins, global tools. We have Maven already attached. Right. Save. And let me go here. And again, so git download Maven run. Come on, kernel file executable is there, right? This part we had done already. Maven 3 is there. Why? This part is done, right? Already we have seen. So they are saying, I see here, like automatically, I don't know why. I will check it. But now, guys, this time the main thing is Docker. See here, they build the code. After build the code, they change our name, and after this, they are pushing. They're pushing. Okay, and after the pushing, they request access to resource deny. This message normally come, guys. Guys, this part is done. Pushing is done. Image is created. This message normally come if I give the wrong password. Okay, that's what I feel I have given. So if I give the wrong password, then they say they are going to Docker Hub, creating this image. Okay, and the password that you give is wrong. I think I'll say password in this box. Okay, last one I believe here I save my password and build. So this message because come normally because you put the wrong password in the command. But technically, this entire process, guys, is running. Come on here. I'll check this issue. Why they show this issue? Maybe I might not have a home set in my system, but I don't think so. This might be the issue. But let me check. Sometimes they direct it, sometimes they won't direct. Now this is automated run. Okay, so I think this might be the only issue. Otherwise, Jenkins build is done. Now they are pushing. So, guys, this error is because of the password actually, because they're pushing in the. Actually, you know what? I did one very small mistake, very small mistake that I already explained to, but I don't know why. Doing the practical, I forget to update here. And obviously, guys, you're pushing right your data with this image, and because you're pushing to the Docker Hub, and Docker Hub, guys, there's a convention that you have to use your ID. Image name would be, guys, with the name Vimal 13. So your image name will be Vimal 13, then your actual image name, then the version. So by chance, I already explained this point to you, but I forgot to update here. So this is the reason, guys, they were not able to, because they think I'm trying to log into main internal admin account of the Docker Hub, and obviously I don't have password, so they'll fail. Now they are pushing. Guys, here this is get the proper name, and now they are pushing and uploading. And now this time they will upload, and after upload, you will get your image auto built in the Docker Hub. And there also we have triggers, or we have other. Maybe I can create one more job extra, and then, guys, there is a pipeline of concept come in play. I can create one more job, and their job automatically detected one image uploaded, or this job runs successfully, and this job where, guys, automatically download this image and push this image to Kubernetes and other stuff. Okay, so a lot of different this job we can put in the pipeline. I'll show you how to do this in the future class. But the guys, they're uploading. In a minute, you will see everything's done. So that's so, guys. Now it is your choice how you want to use this automation. Or maybe now developer will create the version 2. Same purpose happen. Right now I haven't put the trigger. If you put the trigger, everything to be automated. Okay, so that's one extra thing you can do here. Okay, so they're pushing based on internet speed, they are uploading. Okay, so that's all. And by chance, guys, I just want to give one small task. If you want to try this, it's a very simple demo, but I would like to give a task to Earth Learner. What you have to do, you have, guys, created a lot of code for machine learning. Okay, let's say you are the developer. Okay, and guys, I already explained you how to create a Docker image of the machine learning of Keras TensorFlow. That was very much manual. Now I want you use this approach. So as soon as you create a code, it auto push here, and now after this, everything to be automated. So take this task, everything we have done, right? But how to make this thing automated? Okay, build your model, publish your model in your Flask app, so that your customer can have a prediction on the data. So try to, guys, automate this task with the Jenkins. Guys, this is successful. And very quickly, if I see the Docker Hub and refresh my account, okay, so you will see in my library this image come up, and third person, somebody already, the two guys downloaded here from here. Somebody download, and as soon as download, when you run Java, sorry, Docker run, this will give you hello world. Okay, so that's all, guys. This is a complete demo. How to integrate, how to automate Docker file, create image, custom image with the with this one. So that's all, guys. Any questions, any query, if you have, you can ask me. So, so let me check your queries. Guys, I will, guys, when I take the class of IAM user, there I guys explain you about uh, if how to reset the password, how to, if you forget the password, how to do this, right? Just give me some days in upcoming class only. I just take this class, then I'll take all this information to you. I provide all the information to you. So, 1 minute, guys. How to enable Flask app program in image like do. Actually, Anuj, this demo we have already seen in our class. That was manual, but I showed the approach today. Now we can do the same thing with Jenkins. So try by yourself, Anuj, to implement this. So actually, Manan, there is no meaning of Maven integration with Python, because Python, we don't have to compile the code, right? So Maven is a build tool normally. So any code that you want to compile, maybe have support for C, C++ also. There's a different point, because their code we have to compile, but mostly we have to use with Java. But there's no meaning to integrate with Python. My Python code will Maven. Okay. Yes, I use Docker Hub storage. Very interesting question you asked. Very interesting. I really appreciate what he's asking. I use Bharat. Docker Hub is also using some kind of data structure like graph. Answer is they use a lot of data structure, right? Linked list, multiple part version of linked list, and everything mapped the way I explain you. Layers, right? Is with a graph database. So it's a very complex, a very interesting way they integrated their data structure. Okay, so multiple data structures are used for multiple purpose, but all the layer is connected, okay, with the graph database, and every layer is linked with the linked list. There's a basic core they have built on. The primary use of Maven, guys, is to maintain the dependency for Java code. So if you want to compile Java code, you require a lot of packages, and all the packages have dependencies. So Maven will help you to download those dependencies with the right version. Okay, this is one primary use. After this, they compile, they get package, they deploy, they test. So there's a multiple things they do. But core of Maven is to maintain the Java project, and all the things whatever the Java project need or Java code need, they will provide. They will help you. So you can, very high level, you can compare. If you know Ubuntu OS, it is like apt-get command. If you know Red Hat, it's like yum command. Very high level comparison you can think in this way. Otherwise, we can't compare language with the OS, but something like this you can think of. Yes, Pankaj, this not one class. I will take a very detailed class on scripting and declarative pipeline. This is one very interesting topic. So I'll take this topic in very detail in this Jenkins. So how to export Docker content? It's simple, right? In the Docker, if you go to our Docker classes, there's a concept called netting or patting you can use to expose. Obviously, you require public IP. There's a different point. You can use ngrok to expose to give the public IP, but technically in Docker we have a patting option, IP to expose. No, actually, sorry, it's only pushing one image only, right? They're not pushing two images. Only one image they push. Chaitanya, then Jenkins is not picking the entry point. Actually, entry point is a keyword of Docker. So when we build the Docker and create a custom image, entry point will go inside the Docker image. So that keyword is not related to Jenkins. It is like a keyword of the Docker file. There's a lot of ways, Chaitanya, you can copy one container from other container. Okay, maybe I'll try to take some discussion on this. Not obviously in this class, but you're not asking image to image, right? Very important thing you ask. If you really ask this same thing, what I'm thinking right now, there's one container running, and live content you want to launch for one VM to other VM, right? So nowadays so simple, but I think 2000. Um, 2018 17 some new project come up for this purpose to live migrate the way you migrate your live VM in VMware, something like this they have. So maybe somewhere I'll definitely try to talk on those points. Because normally Gradle we use again same purpose, it's a build tool like Maven, but normally we use Gradle to build your mobile apps or especially Android. So if you normally build your Android apps, you will see the build may automatically create a package. Who create? If you try to see there, Gradle is the one who help you to create. So I use you say you're hoping your support from me. Some support form for eye vision and eye darkness as you have a great skin time. So can you help me for form? So I don't know, guys, how I use what is purpose. So I'm just putting yes. I think this link will go to now everyone. So anybody who interested, I don't know what iOS is looking for as a data. Maybe he might build machine learning model. Maybe I don't know. So if anybody to contribute the data, you can. So that's all, guys. I think most of the query I try to touch, and some more query you have. Uh, Saket, Rosa, I just no plan to discuss Rosa for OpenShift, but it's so simple. It's a pre-managed service in AWS. Okay, so pretty simple. Just go in there, spawn the cluster. That's all. Like Kubernetes. We discuss about Kubernetes on the cloud. Something like this is OpenShift service on the cloud. That's from AWS. It's called Rosa. So just try to launch. Pretty simple. Nothing special. And they give you the URL, connect, and do the thing what we have done till date. Okay, but you can just go and check. I think this service not they're giving free. I'm not pretty sure. Check. So they check how much they charge you. So that's all, guys. See you in the next class with some more new practicals. Bye. Take care. Good day.